Hello, welcome back to the 24-hour period of anxiety before visiting your family for Thanksgiving. Oh dear, yes, always fun. Fingers crossed it goes smoothly, but we all know how it can go sideways. You already know from the title card, we're starting the Andes Sherman Easy 8, and no, we're not sponsored. I wish we were. That would be quite nice, actually. Much needed supplies have arrived for the Sherman. My primer, basically. 5 jars of XF69 NATO Black. Hobbylink, HOBBLINC.com. Finally got my order in stock. It's only been on back order, I don't know, months. So there's all our NATO Black. Our paint jar is absolutely bursting at the seams now. That should be enough for the foreseeable future of building. There we are. Okay. Got the work surface cleaned up a little. People have sometimes complimented this stainless steel counter workbench thingy I have. It's quite nice for cleanup, but right now it is chilly in Atlanta, and it's been cold for a while. And this thing is ice cold. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch it. The cutting mats are more here for me to rest my arms on. They're less cold than the stainless steel chili surface. So we've got the heater going. Sorry about that little background noise, but let's get to business. The camera's upside down? No, the box is upside down, you dum-dum. And oh my lord, what a big box. There we are. So you've all seen this in the unboxing, but yeah, we've got our, I do like the style that they did the instructions in. It's rather what do you call that? Very clever. That's it. There we go. I said to my wife the wrong thing one time. Oh dear. Yeah. Never tell your wife, hey, oh, honey, that was hilarious. I didn't think you were that clever. Didn't go well for me. Meant innocently enough, however. We have our water slide decals. Multiple different marking options for different, apparently, real-life tanks that partook in the color wars of the World War II there. There we go. Alright, we're going to get those safely aside. And then we got, oh yeah, we've got our value gear here. We've got our Allied Tank Bits number 2. I kind of wanted some bits from set number 1 and maybe a couple bits from set number 3, but I wanted more bits from set number 2. So that's how I made my decision. I could have just bought sets 1 and 2, I guess, but then I would have had way too many extra things left over. I don't think I have enough, like World War II Allied tanks to put this crap on. So here we go. We got things, we got pieces. I'm going to go via the instructions, and you'll be following along as we build in stages. Alright, be right back. Just an initial observation. Literally the first step is doing it, well, you can't see, I zoomed in, but doing the rear engine compartment panel. This is polystyrene, but this is one of the thickest, toughest pieces I've encountered in 16 scale tanks. All of my previous experience was, of course, Tamiya, little hang long in there. But these parts, they fit together like Lego. I mean, that is not going almost anywhere. I mean, we're going to glue it, of course. Also, the fit is so nice on this, sorry. If you wanted to, you could basically make this door functional. If you felt like drilling itty-bitty little holes and putting in little hinge pins there, that would be something you could do. But yeah, just wanted to some heavy-duty polystyrene. We also have some ABS parts in the mix. These little bits came off the same tree as the sprockets and some of the idler wheels, return rollers, what have you. So that's definitely ABS, because yeah, sprockets are going to be at least ABS plastic. So yeah, just, man, okay, so far so good. We'll be right back. Okay, little tip, not really much of a tip. These upper return rollers, the inner part of the wheel fits into the outer part of the wheel. Very, very, very tight tolerances. So make sure you sand off your nubs, squeeze it in there good. And these are ABS. And while not mandatory, I prefer to use this on ABS or dissimilar plastics. Obviously, our Tamiya Extra Thin is perfectly good for polystyrene parts. And then these are not actually supposed to move when the tracks are moving if you are going to be rolling it around, because if this rolls at all, it just comes off. So you're going to glue these on, and it'll be fine. The track's just going to skirt over the top. Barely gonna, you're not even gonna, well, you might notice it if you're just staring at the side of the track. But the return rollers, in my opinion, the inner one is very tight and barely spins anyway, and the outer one, you're just gonna put dab of glue to put her on there. But yeah, they're looking beautiful looking. Little casting marks on the hubcaps and everything. It's super nice so far. Just trying to give little tips and tricks as I go. All right, we'll be right back. I didn't see a lot of build videos on this besides Andy's, so who knows? Maybe I'm blazing trails here on YouTube. BRB. Welcome back to the land of noisy overhead electric heaters. Jeez. Okay, so the front transmission cover right here goes together pretty perfectly. Just pay some attention to when you're putting these side plates onto the nose. You keep them aligned nicely and tightly, and weep your extra thin cement from the inside, and just do one side at a time. Take your time, keep them pinched together, pay attention to the alignment right there. Then this bolt plate is a separate piece that goes on without any real care needed for the most part. It's got a locating tab in the center. But yeah, keep an eye on these when you're gluing them on. Take a look through from the inside, and if you see daylight, you know, you're not pinching it together enough. And but yeah, look at that. It's going together nice. Look at these little things. The only tools I'm using so far for this build are a pair of God hand nippers, because they're on their way out anyway probably, so I figured why not send them off in style. Our gun primer racer, glass nanofile, a pair of tweezers every now and then, and obviously our adhesives are to me extra thin, and our plastic weld or similar things. Whatever you got that does the same job will be fine. Okay, so that's that. We've got our little return rollers there, a little rear door here for the back of the hull, that's going, and now we're going to start putting stuff onto the main chassis tub. Exciting. This is the part that goes quick until we get to the bogies. Then we slow back down, and then we speed back up, and then we slow back down, and then we're doing the cha-cha. And then it's track day at some point. That's going to be 4 hours of my life I'll never get back, or maybe longer, because I work slow sometimes. Be right back, everybody. Oh, we've officially found our first boo-boo in the kit. There's a part here, P21, on step 1, where you glue it to the underside of the sponson, and it is supposed to overhang, as shown in step 3. There will be a little overhang of this bit, but the damn pin doesn't line up with the hole. You see the pin? See the hole? They're off by about 5 mil. Not 5 millionths, 5 millimeters. It's rather off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that damn pin off at the back and line it up. The front, I'll use this front hole here to hold it in place. And yeah, I guess we're just going to have to slice that locating pin off. Hopefully I get to visit Andy in February at his shop, and I'll be like, hey Andy, what about part P21 in step 1, huh? And he'll be like, oh geez, yeah. There's no addendum. I checked the box. Honestly, yeah, I haven't noticed anything online about that either. So I'm going to get this glued into place very carefully. It'll be fine. I mean, we don't always need locating pins for everything. At least one pin is plenty. At least it got us in the right spot. Just that's weird. Odd little flaw there. So keep an eye out. Maybe it was just my kit. I don't know. Probably not. They made a lot of these all out of the same mold. So, all right, there we go. I found a problem. Yay! I'm not just blowing bubbles and sunshine up the hobby headquarters took us. There was a problem. I called it out. It's not a major problem, of course. Easily surmountable with a little nipping and a little sanding. But yeah, that's it. All right, be right back. There's a damn fly in the basement. You know, it got a little warm today outside. A little bit. Not enough to warm up the basement, but there's a fly in here. Either way, this is step 1 done. All right, looks nice. Just, you know, be conscious when you're gluing this on to make sure you're squeezing things just a little bit. This is such a thick, big plastic lower tub, it's ever so slightly warped. It just is. It's you know, not every single one of them will be like that potentially, but you know, differentials with shipping overseas, the heat of the container, the cold of the container, how they're manufactured, etc., etc. There was a tiny bit of warpage, so I just had to squeeze a little bit longer certain areas. Otherwise, this thing's going together a treat. Everything is fitting together just lovely. You know, other than this, like I said, tiniest bit of warpage, little bit delicate that you have to squeeze together, you know, the sides of the front transmission housing here. But beautiful, beautiful, just lovely. So yeah, this way more detail than a Tamiya full option lower hull on an M4, because that's a stamped folded piece of aluminum that you're gluing and screwing bits and pieces of plastic to it to make it look somewhat serviceable, but it's not going to look this good. And this thing is stiff enough. Honestly, if you could come up with a good suspension solution, like maybe grafting on some Tamiya suspension bits, I don't think Henglong or any of the other Chinese tank manufacturers make an HVSS RC Sherman. I think it's just Tamiya. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you could graft on Tamiya rolling stock onto this thing, and figure out a way you could mount the transmissions, probably. It may be a viable, fully RCable kit. It's going to take some engineering on your part, of course. But yeah, you'd want to obviously get, you know, suspension, road wheels, sprockets, idlers, return rollers, from an RC that are meant to be RC'd, and obviously you'd want tracks. So if you get rolling gear from an RC tank and the matching RC tracks for it, you might be in business. It'll be a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay it, but this thing is solid as all hell. I'll tell you, this is way more solid than a plastic Henglong chassis tub. That's for damn sure. You get enough glue in the right spots, this thing's built like a tank. Oh God! Oh, I've done a dad joke there. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not even a dad, unless you count the dogs. But the whole thing of fur babies. These. Oh Jesus! I don't even like saying that. I gotta go wash my mouth out. Okay, we'll be back with step 2 and step 3. I'm taking my time, but I'm trying to do a bit of a tutorial for everyone and do something. I don't know. Whatever. I'll be right back. Alrighty. We've got our rear track tensioners installed. We've got our somewhat controversial exhaust pipes, but they're not controversial if you're building a World War II tank or an early production EZ8. I mean, they're pretty late production M4s. But yeah, there was exhaust deflectors and stuff in play, more in Korea, but there were some in World War II. There were. I've seen the photos. I've seen the receipts. Either way, be careful gluing this little guy together so that this will remain movable. And then these little guys, I would go through the middle of these with a file. Just graze the inside of each of the little nubs there. They'll snap on a little easier. You're gonna also paint all this stuff anyway later. They're not gonna want to move as much once they're all painted up. But yeah, that's looking mighty nice. Nice little detail. And these little guys on here. There we go. They're all glued on. These don't move. The tracks will just slide over the tops, and you're never gonna see the paint wear off the top of these wheels with the tracks on. So it's just fine if you're rolling this thing around like a Fisher-Price tank, maybe, I don't know. But the workable tracks is neat, and it makes it easier to get them installed. If you can let things spin freely, it allows you to line things. It's not like you know, Lincoln length or Lincoln length or Lincoln logs, where you know you gotta fight a little to get them in there just right. You know, it's just full tracks. You know, you just put them on there, glue the last link on, boom, you're good to go. So that should be nice. But yeah, come together nicely. That was step 3 done. So there we go. Going together really easy. I mean, there's a lot of parts, there's a lot of sprues. I'm sure I'm going to be wanting to kill myself, not just doing the bogies in step 4, make 6. Okay, fair enough. The tracks. Oh, I don't want to assemble tracks. I really don't. But that's what I signed up for. when I decided to build this thing. It's honestly the first time I'm ever building a tank where I have to assemble the tracks. And I didn't even want to assemble tracks on a King Tiger from Tamiya, and those were just put the little plastic links together and shove a metal pin through. That I didn't even want to do. So either way, whatever. Gotta do it, gotta do it. We'll get to it. Be right back. Holy horseshit, Batman. Just cutting all the parts out for step 4. Just cutting them off the sprues. We're saying sprues because this is a model tank. We're not saying runners because this is not a Gundam kit. But just cutting the pieces out is a feat in of itself. It's just a lot of snipping out pieces. A lot of sanding off your nub marks as well. Has started happening with the volute springs. Just getting those nice and unsanded where we snipped them off there. Lots of more sanding, and then lots of very careful assembly following the no glue logos that you see all over this part of the instructions. Lots of no glue logos. If you want, I don't even know if it'll go together right if you put glue in the wrong place. Like, no glue when it says no glue. That's all I can tell you. Okay? We'll be right back. Oh my god, I love this kit, but hoy, a little tedious. But that's all the things we build here. There's always some tedium. Okay, so the suspension bogies, if you can make out that flappy lip on each of these volute coil springs, okay, one side is glued, one side is not, so that they can, like, I don't know why they're coming apart. There's no shaft in the middle to keep them from falling apart, but that's what they want you to do. Okay. And then our little shocks are still in halves, and our little shock reservoirs, focus, you son of a, they're still there. One side of the bogie here, one side of the bogie there. So we're all in our sub-assemblies. As assembled as we can get. Now we have to put the bogies together. Shouldn't be too hard. I think the first one will take me about 20 minutes of cursing, and then the next 5 will go like that, you know, a minute or 2 each. That's usually how it goes with these things. But I will be right back after some much-needed beer drinking and cussing and gluing together bogies. BRB. Okay, so for the second best tutorial on YouTube after Andy on how to put these things together, first of all, don't even mess with these things. Just leave them where they are. You don't need to even touch them for step 4 on page 4. All you need is your 2 shock halves, your little shock reservoir, and your 2 bogie sides. Make sure the orientation is correct-ish. I probably glued one of these on the wrong way at some point. Oh yeah, I definitely did. Yeah. Yeah, see, I screwed up. I glued it on backwards. It's okay. We could always re-glue it on. That's just fine. The glue takes a while to set up. To me, extra thin. You've got a while to work with it. I wonder if there's any other ones I screwed up. No, literally just this one I decided to show you is the one that I screwed up and glued this thing on backwards, so you didn't have the little slit right out there. You want the nub cut to be on the inside. Look at that! There we go. You got to see one of my screw-ups live on camera. Well, live-ish. Okay, so we take our outer shock half, and we get our barbecue baster of extra thin. All right, and you put on as much glue as you can without putting on too much glue than you should. So you want maximum gluage just on this inner part here, okay? Just on this inner part, and then just pinch one of those between your fingers, get the other shock shaft there. It'll kind of stay open a little. Get that guy in there. Pinch that shut. Pinch it in the middle, okay? Shaky, shaky, shaky. Parts still move, very good. Take your Harbor Freight clamp with there's a little V channel in these clamps, and it's there for just this purpose, for clamping round objects together, okay? And once you have that clamped together, make sure, if we need more clamping force at one end than the other, go ahead and do that. All right, barely on camera, Jesus. Okay, and then just just trickle a little extra thin into that. Okay, pinchy. All right, and we can slide our little guy up there a little. Put that down. Okay, it'll lean like that. That's fine. Okay, then we're going to take our little doohickey. This is kind of like our little gas reservoir on an external reservoir shock. This is our, I think this was like the nitrogen reservoir for these gas-charged shocks. I'm assuming they were. You know, I never really got into the engineering of the shocks on the HVSS suspension for the Sherman, and it fits in there very nicely, like it was meant to go in there, like it was molded to go in that home. And I just like to throw a little extra thin on that feller. Okay, and you can slide your clampy thing down. You can always add a little extra force with your clampy thing. Okay. All right. And there we go. That's that. Okay. So now you want to make sure. Oh God. You want to make sure that these are still swinging. Okay. So look at all our previous ones. They're all swinging. The first one we made. Oh God. I'm gonna zoom out a little here. Sorry. I'm not. There we go. All right. Better. I wasn't like digital. First one still swinging. Second one, swingy. Third one, swingy. If we've done anything right, yes, swingy. Okay? So swingy. This is what we need. The next page of instructions are probably going, oh, son of a, see, these aren't glued together. The next page of instructions, we're going to put these together, and then we're going to put something in to hold the two bottoms together, and that's when it's going to lock it in there. Okay, but for now, nothing's locking the volute spring packs in. So really, this is our only real goal for right now is to get those shocks clamped down and glued on. So while those are drying, off screen, move our glue. Oh, wait, just screw that lid down. Just slightly finger tight when you're not using it, just because even with a 3D printed base or Andy's spinny three-way thing, which you can get for free if you spend over $100 on his website by Sunday. God, why am I doing ads for Andy? Actually, my mother-in-law, bless her heart, she's given me 3 father-in-laws. My mother-in-law, her most recent, newest husband, he's big into Willys Jeeps, and she said, he wanted a nice model Willys Jeep for Christmas. And I said, well, I know the nicest and the biggest and the onlyest nice big one. So yeah, I built her a shopping cart at Andy's HHQ, and my new father-in-law is getting a free set of sanding sticks, $14.99 value. Be dialing, people. Ian is on QVC. All right. Oh my God. Okay, so here we go. This is where we're clamping together the. Let me show you this. God, son of a. This is where we're clamping the bogies onto the lower hull mounts. We're building wheels. We're building the lower hull mounts, and then we're gonna clamp those bogies in the lower hull mount. That's when you're gonna put those volute springs in. And lots of no glue marks again. No glue marks. More no glue marks. Okay. Heed the warnings of the no glue marks. Alright? Or else be forever cursed with stuck bogies. There we go. So, where are we? 10, 16. We can go a little longer. We could probably get this part done right here and have fully built bogies. And at that point, I'm just going to say, why the hell don't we glue them on? And step 5 will be done. Oh, God, Lord Almighty. Step 6. Building individual tracks. I really don't want to do that. Not tonight. I don't want to do it at all, but I definitely don't want to do it tonight. Okay, well, we're going to continue on here. This thing's going together mighty fast, actually. considering all the complaining and moaning and kvetching I'm doing about it. But either way, we'll be right back. Oh, crotch shot. Oh, angle the camera, Ian. There we go. That's better. No one wants to see that. I mean, I'm wearing pants, but still. Okay, enough. BRB. All right, well, here we go. So we've got our bogey holder is assembled. I keep forgetting I'm zoomed in. This is where the volute springs come into play. So you take your volute springs and you want the little lines facing towards the shock reservoir or up, and you drop those down in there. Okay, just like that. Then you straddle that center I-beam thing and they clunk down on the posts. Oop, they clunk down on the posts there. Then what you do is, we'll use our Tamiya cement for this so it can be a little more precise. Get a little bit on the top there and a little bit right on this face here, and then take your little outer cap and put that on there. Okay, now what you do is take some more cement and drop it. There we go. Get some more cement right in there. Okay, a little bit right there. Don't get anything on anything that moves, obviously, but you want to get a little bit around the bottom of that I-beam. Then we'll flip this fella over and we'll get a tiny bit right on the top here, okay, of that I-beam, or whatever it is I'm calling it an I-beam. Just kind of douse it with some stuff and pinch and squeeze, and you can kind of keep this thing moving. And if you got glue somewhere you shouldn't have, you'd feel it start to you know, bind up and get a little sticky, but this thing's still flopping around beautifully. That's basically it. This one feels like it's going to be just fine, so we're going to put her down next to the first one we did. That took 5 times as long, and we've got 4 more to build. That's how it works. The first one you do takes kind of, not forever, but it takes a while, and it's like a little fiddly and frustrating. But it comes out just fine. I didn't build the little road wheels to pop on here yet, because I thought this is the most important part. The road wheels, there's no glue involved with mounting them. You just glue the road wheels together. Don't glue the center. It's not a poly cap though. It's just a piece of ABS runner plastic, but it's fine. That's fine. You don't always need poly caps, because it's ABS on ABS that goes onto this shaft, and then this shaft spins in the middle of this piece, and it doesn't spin that freely. We might have to sand off. Might have to sand off the seam line on the middle of these guys a little bit to make her spin a little more freely. We'll see. We'll test that. But either way, that's the most important part is how to glue this together. You're basically only putting glue back here and up here on this center part, and that's what's holding the chassis mount to this outer plate and holding these things in place and still allowing them to move. So yeah, that works very nice. Really good engineering on this kit so far. Fantastic engineering. I would love if the volute springs actually had like springs in them, so that not just rotation, but that these could come in and out. But then you would need an articulated upper shock, and you would need springs inside of these things with sleeves, which is how it is on the Tamiya HVSS suspension on their M4 and M51 Sherman and Super Sherman, respectively, RC tanks. It is a sliding shock body, and there is a spring inside the volute that allows these to compress together and spread apart. In this model, they do not do that, but this level of movement for what is otherwise a static model is perfectly fine and really impressive. So I'm going to finish these up. I'm going to build some wheels and tires. I'm not going to do that in this part. That's just boring. Should I just do one set of wheels and tires? Fine. I'll do one set of road wheels on here for you guys and gals, or gal. And we'll do that, and then that's going to be the end of this episode, all right? Because it's getting late, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I got to get just enough sleep so I have time to wake up, poop, and then drive to my mother-in-law's to eat stuffing and hear all of her opinions that I really wasn't wanting to hear. So yeah, but that's how it works. We love our family, but they do annoy the hell out of us sometimes. Either way, I hope they have beer up there. Maybe I have to bring my own. I might have to stop for beer. Okay, either way, we'll be right back. I'll have some road wheels on just for this, just for you, because Pit Stain Hobbies loves you. And thank you for watching. One sec. Okay, so bit of a snug fit when you're putting one of these little shafts into the wheel. I'm using the butt of a plastic screwdriver to just tap it in there ever so gently. And these wheels, they are a bit finicky to glue together, I'll be honest. And there's a little bit of flash in them every now and then. But either way, we will insert the outer, from the outer, we'll insert our road wheel with our shaft on it. We'll then lay this down flat on the work surface. We'll flip our other wheel over. We'll get it on the shaft. And we'll push it home. And they do rotate. Look at that. They do rotate. They spin. Not super smoothly. In all honesty, I may pull these apart and either sand down the center part of this little shaft. Either sand it down or possibly put a tiny bit of lube on it. Of some sort of grease. That would probably make them spin easier. Honestly, we're not building an RC tank here. Yeah, it rolls, it's cool, alright. I don't really... It's a static model. It's really nice that the tracks are workable, though. I really do like that. But there we go. This is pretty awesome for a static model. These would definitely not be suitable for RC use, in my opinion at least. Could they be used in RC use? Maybe, but very light duty, very light, smooth floor, polished floor, I don't even know about carpets, pool table duty. But they do seem to run true. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, see, this one's needs more glue, and we're gonna have to. Oh my God, that really doesn't want to come apart. We didn't get enough glue in this one, or didn't let it set long enough, and it's spreading apart there. The wheel halves are actually a little tricky to get together well, or easily, or however you want to say it. But we're gonna put a healthy amount of Tamiya cement in there and get a little clampy action going. There we go. That should hold her. There we go. It's starting to spooge out a little bit, but that's okay. We can sand it down a little bit afterwards. But yeah, I just wanted to get one bogey done for you fellers and ladies. We might have 2 female viewers now, I'm not sure. But yeah, there we go. It's pretty awesome. We got to build 5 more of these suckers, and sand them and all that other good stuff. But yeah, these are lovely parts. This is a lovely kit. I'm having an absolute treat putting it together, even though it is, I don't know, trudging monotony sometimes of repetitive tasks. But that's basically a lot of the model kits we build. So it's 6 of this, half a dozen of the other. Yeah, that's probably already pretty much set up. Yeah, so make sure your wheel halves are glued together extremely well before you start mounting them on the bogies. Go ahead and do all the sanding you want. I can sand these in situ. It's perfectly fine. Not a big deal. I just wanted to get one bogey together for YouTubery requirements. But yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Alrighty then. That's it for tonight. I'm going upstairs and I'm going to get this video uploaded to the interwebs for everyone to, well, for some people to enjoy. There we go. We're starting on Andy's tank. This is the end of part 1. We will, come on, zoom out, Ian. We enabled our digital zoom. It actually looks quite nice, doesn't it? And we want to rotate so we don't get a crotch shot. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time in part 2. We will be doing probably some of this tank's build, most likely the rest of the bogies in the track, during the Friday night live stream on Hobby Time Modelers. I will link the channel in the description below, but that is where I live stream while I'm working on stuff with the Hobby Time Modelers. If you just want condensed stuff and no extra fluff, you come here to Pit Stain Hobbies. If you go to Hobby Time Modelers, then you're going to see us BSing for hours on end while I'm just sitting there monotonously putting together tracks. But you still get my fantastic commentary, which is half the fun for me and none of the fun for most of the people that don't subscribe. So like, subscribe as well. By the way, no one's watching at this point in the video. I should say like and subscribe in the beginning. Hindsight's 20/20. Adios, everybody. See you next time.